Welcome to the Happy Black Woman Podcast, where we're on a mission to empower women to transform their lives through personal development and entrepreneurship. We bring you all the information, inspiration, and motivation you need to create a life of happiness, success, and freedom. Now, please welcome your host, the happy Black woman herself, Rosetta Thurman.
Hello and welcome back to the Happy Black Woman Podcast. We have been having a blast here with our interview series highlighting Black women entrepreneurs this month, and I am here with another fantastic interview for you with Kandice Shelton. She is the founder of Fitspiration and really lives a healthy lifestyle and helps other people do the same thing. So you can read all about Kandice on our show notes on our website. You can read her bio and check out her website. In the meantime, I'm going to dive right in and welcome Kandice.
Hello. Thank you, Rosetta. Thank you so much for having me on your podcast today.
Thank you for joining us and taking the time. You know, I have gotten the opportunity to get to know Kandice through our Happy Black Woman Mastermind program, and I know all the amazing things that she's doing in her business and with her clients. But for everyone who doesn't know you yet, can you tell us a little bit about your mission and the work that you do?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm Kandice Shelton, and I'm a certified health and nutrition coach as well as fitness instructor. I'm also CEO and founder of Fitspiration 10. And what Fitspiration 10 is, it's a health and fitness lifestyle company. And what I do is I help women to reach and maintain their ideal weight through fitness, nutrition, and accountability programs. And most of my programs are focused around the 10 key elements of healthy living and just making sure that they're in balance to support a weight loss goal or a weight management goal. We also partner with corporations and schools and community organizations to help them implement health and fitness programs as well to their employees, members, and stakeholders.
Very cool. And of course, people are wondering, how do you do that? Do you, have people taking weight loss pills? Or I know you don't do that, but, how does it really happen? How do you help people lose weight? It's one of the biggest challenges that people have in their health journey is actually getting the weight off. So how do you do that? Is it a combination of things, meal plans and coaching, but in a nutshell, how do you do that for people?
There are really 10 key elements of healthy living, and it's really not about focusing directly on the weight loss as much as it is focusing on bringing your life into balance. And once that happens, the weight will come off. That's just like icing on the cake, right? So there are 10 elements of wellness, including mindset, exercise, sleep, stress. A lot of people don't realize how important sleep is and stress is to weight loss. So there's 10 elements that I focus on with the coaching and nutrition and things like that. So it's actually the plan that I used when I went through my own weight loss journey too. So I documented that and put it into a program for other people so I can help them.
Awesome. Well, okay, so we can't just pop a pill. We know that. But Kandice has a 10-part system to take you through the process, which sounds really cool. So we'll get into that a little more later. But I'm curious to have you share, how did you end up turning this passion of yours into a business? What made you start this business?
So the short story is I lost 60 pounds, and that really gave me the inspiration to start my business. At one point in my life, like many women out there, I was in corporate America. So I was working long hours. I was traveling a lot, and I was having to balance career and personal life. And being as honest as I can, I just was not doing a good job at balancing. So I started to gain weight. More and more weight came on, more and more weight until that one day that was a game changer. It was actually 3 things that made me shift. And that one day I stepped on the scale, and at 5'3", the scale said 200 pounds. And that was literally a big deal for me. So I shifted. I took the initiative to shift my lifestyle, my mindset, my environment, and I dropped the weight. And during this process of losing the weight, I just fell head over heels in love with just how healthy living made me feel. So I combined that with my natural gift for coaching and teaching and leadership, and the inspiration to create Fitspiration 10 just emerged, and that's how it came about.
Wonderful story. I love how so many of the women that I mentor in our mastermind program and within our Happy Black Woman community overall have decided to start businesses doing what they love, born out of their own personal experience.
Yes.
A lot of times we don't value our personal experience enough to say, well, other people could benefit from this, but you know that it can. And so looking at that and looking at all of the clients that you've been able to help and people you've been able to touch, for the woman listening who is inspired by you already and thinking, how can I get started on this journey? You know, how can she get started on her weight loss journey to become more fit and to be able to, you know, see some of the success that you've had dropping? Maybe it's not 60 pounds, maybe it is, but what would be some specific action steps you can give us that anybody can do today?
The one thing that I tell all of my clients is to set a strong foundation. Yes, you have to exercise. Yes, you have to eat right. Yes, you have to do all these things. But the foundation is your mindset, putting accountability into place, and really being prepared. I have a free guide that's on my website that goes into much more detail about those 3 items, because that foundation will keep you strong during your journey. If you don't have, just like a house, if you don't have a strong foundation, eventually it will crumble. Right? So with mindset, I tell people to be aware of the thoughts that come to their mind. Affirmations are great too, with helping to shift your mindset. Accountability is just as important. You really need somebody there that's going to support you and be your cheerleader, but also kind of call you out on, okay, you're trying to lose weight. Why are you ordering an extra set of French fries on the menu today? You know, or something like that. And then being prepared. And a lot of times I tell my clients, planning is great. Planning is a great first step, but you have to be prepared for the elements of a healthy lifestyle. So, for example, planning is saying, I'm going to work out and I'm going to put it on my calendar. But being prepared is laying out your clothes the night before. It's putting your gym bag in your car. It's arranging your day so you're done by 4:30 to get to the gym by 5:30. It's really taking that extra step to be prepared. So really those 3 things I would say are the first 3 things to put in place to reach any kind of weight loss or health and fitness goal.
Those are a great start. I mean, I know that's just for people who are getting back in the game. Maybe they fell off the wagon and they're getting back on track. I hear that all the time from ladies in our Happy Black Woman community. Even when we have our business trainings, we always end up talking about personal life, health, romance, all those different things. And
yes.
Somebody is always saying, I fell off the wagon, I got to get back on track. And they're looking for accountability partners to help them. And of course, like anything in life, that's always going to happen. You're going to have your ups and downs. But if you could identify, you know, one specific strategy that you have found with your clients that makes the difference when someone's trying to get back on track after maybe they did lose 20 pounds and then something happened, life happened.
Yes.
You know, what's that strategy specifically for helping that woman get back on track with her fitness?
I would say it's the preparation. It's preparation, but also taking baby steps. Right? I tell a lot of my clients that you didn't gain the weight overnight, so you're not going to lose it overnight. So there's an expectation of, like you were saying, a magic pill that you can take. No, it's really a lifestyle change. And when you do fall off the wagon, getting back on the wagon, baby steps. You don't have to take in the whole wagon and, you know, get back on the entire wagon at once. You can take baby steps to get you back on the path towards your goal.
Awesome. And I know that a lot of us are overachievers and, you know, the baby steps make sense, but it's like, I want to take that one big step and get back to where I was. So out of the things that you shared, definitely those are some great steps to begin with. There are so many aspects to this journey, which is why it seems like for most people who are committed to it, to have somebody like you in their corner definitely makes a lot of sense. So to give us some more insight, Kandice, can you share with us some of the things that you do in your typical day? Because your business was kind of born out of your own personal experience. So I know that you've built up a storehouse of great habits. So what are some things like just share with us what your typical day looks like. You're a business owner, you play other roles in your personal life. How does this fitness lifestyle play out for you?
I try to start my day with really getting centered and grounded, normally through prayer or meditation, or sometimes just quiet time, just being in the silence. And I say that because typically my day is full of energy. I teach right now 12 fitness classes per week. In addition to that, I have my coaching clients that I talk to, and I need to be centered and grounded to be able to give them the energy that they need and deserve when they either on the phone with me or coming to one of my classes. So I start my day off being centered and grounded so I can give energy to everyone else. So at the end of the day, I'm just like anyone else who works. I come home, get in my PJs, and catch up on the latest and greatest show that's on my DVR. So it's really about servicing my clients, either teaching fitness classes or coaching them or training them, and then coming home and taking care of myself again.
So it sounds a lot like the structure that you have to have some type of structure to manage all of these things in your life. Talk about centering yourself in the morning and coming home at night. Is there a certain time of day that is your favorite to exercise?
All day. No, I am not, I jokingly say that because I do teach sometimes upwards of 3 to 4 classes a day, but that's what I teach. And while that is exercise, I do have my own exercise regimen. I'm not an early morning person. I would rather work out at 9 o'clock at night than to work out at 5 o'clock in the morning. So I'm good after I teach my classes. I'm still kind of hyped up with that energy. So I could then come home and do my own workout or stay at the gym and, do an extra workout. So I'm more of an evening person than an early morning person.
Very interesting. It's so interesting how some people, they can, do things at night. I'm not a morning person, but if anything like that is going to get done, it has to get done in the morning because at night I am in chill mode.
Right.
So that is very interesting that it could be on the front end or the back end of your day.
Right.
Very cool. So, in your journey, I'm wondering if there have been any favorite books that have inspired you, kept you going, that have stayed on your bookshelf over the past few years that you can recommend?
Right now, I'm on not necessarily one book, but a type of book, and that's devotionals. I am big on devotionals, and you can get them in all areas of life. Right now, I'm doing a deep dive into a couple of spiritual devotionals, but you can get them on health and business, just relationships, all kinds of things. But I like that short daily read that kind of tops off my cup. Right? When I feel like I'm running a little low on certain things, I can pick up a devotional and read exactly what I need to get filled back up. So that's really my favorite book is a type of book, and that's a devotional.
Okay, wonderful. So right now you're using spiritual devotionals. Are there any specific ones that have become your favorites?
Right now I'm reading a book, and I don't know the author. It's called 100 Days of Prayer for Women, and it is fantastic. I started January 1st. So it is fantastic.
Awesome. I love it. So we will find that book and we'll put the link in our show notes here. And, as you have gone through your own personal transformation and, in your business growth, has there been a personal mantra or a motto or a saying that you've been living by or striving to live by?
I recently saw a Facebook post, and on this post, it had an image of a woman, and it was from the back. So she was sitting with her back, it's like you were looking at her back, and she was sitting on the beach, and it was a sunset in the background. And the words that were on the picture were breathe in faith, breathe out fear. Breathe in faith, breathe out fear. And I loved that because at certain points in my day or in my week, I literally do that. I take a deep breath in, and it's like I'm breathing in faith, and I'm exhaling out all the fear. So it really is a physical and a mental mantra that I live by. Breathe in faith and breathe out fear.
I love that. And it's something that sounds like you can do when you are, as a very quick meditation, sitting down, or even while you're walking. Very simple.
Yes,
we love
absolutely.
Simple.
Absolutely.
So I love that mantra. And as you look over, your life and all the opportunities you have to serve other people and make them happy, I'm curious as to what makes you happy. Kandice, what lights you up? What makes you a happy Black woman?
Chocolate makes me happy.
Oh, says the fitness lady.
I know.
I'm telling.
Everything in moderation is okay. But you know what? I think my environment, it being peaceful, makes me happy. The beach makes me happy. My mom makes me happy. Realizing just the blessings that are in my life make me happy. Just my environment and it being at peace and me being centered just makes me happy. So it's the basic things, plus chocolate. So if I can have chocolate on the beach sitting next to my mom, then I'd be in heaven, right? I'd be in heaven.
Oh, I love the visual. Awesome visual. I thought we were going to go off on another tangent here with the chocolate, but that's just me. Those of you listening to the podcast know I like my chocolate men too. So
that's right. You know what? That's a whole different.
That one doesn't have any calories though. So
right. It could be definitely good for you.
Oh gosh. Yes, definitely another topic. So another podcast rather, because we've been having some really great topics on the podcast depending on your area of business. So Kandice, thank you for the wisdom that you shared so far. And I know that as you have grown in your business, there are probably some lessons that you've learned that you can pass on to the women listening. Our audience, most of them are right at the beginning of their path of building, creating a business, doing what they love. So really looking back at where you were, maybe a few steps behind, what's the number one piece of advice that you would give to the woman listening who is still wondering, can she really make a business out of doing what she loves? Whether it's, fitness or relationships, or maybe she wants to be a speaker or a consultant or something that aligns with her passion and her skills. What's that number one tip you would give her?
So the number one tip that I would say is just start, right? So if you want to have a business doing what you love, you have to start. There are opportunities out there. The success already exists. And Rosetta, this is one thing I learned from you, is that it's already done. Your success is already done. You just have to walk into it. But you can't walk into that success if you don't take that first step. So I would just say the number one thing to do is don't live in that fear, take on that faith, and just take that first step.
I mean, your success is already available. You're just really walking into the experience of it. We talk about that all the time in our mastermind group. And you've been such a great addition to that group, and I love being able to see you grow. And I know that everyone listening wants to make sure they can stay in touch with you too. We're not going to just keep you to ourselves here. So, how can people stay in touch with you, get more information or wisdom from you? Where can they go online to make that connection?
Yeah, absolutely. They can go to fitnesswellnessinspiration.com. That's fitnesswellnessinspiration.com. And I have a free guide that really talks about building your foundation, right? So making sure you have the right mindset, you have the right accountability, and you're really prepared to move forward with really any type of goal. My expertise is in the health and fitness area, but really these tips could be applied to any goal that you want to reach. So fitnesswellnessinspiration.com.
And so, when you go there, you will be able to download, I think it's called the Fit Map, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So you'll be able to download the Fit Map. So if you go to Kandice's website, you'll be able to get that resource and receive other resources that Kandice sends out throughout the year. So thank you for that generous gift. And we are going to put that link in the show notes in case you didn't catch it. We will put that, Kandice's book recommendations, and a summary of all her great tips that she shared here today. Wow. Thank you, Kandice.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me.
It's been a pleasure. all of you who are listening, if you have not listened to our previous episodes, Kandice is just one of our many incredible Black women entrepreneurs that we've been featuring this month. Once this is over, go ahead and listen to all of our previous interviews, press pause, take notes, and really soak up all of the wisdom that these ladies have been sharing with you free of charge. And make sure that you give us a review and a rating on iTunes so that more women can find us and make the Happy Black Woman podcast part of their resource library. All right, ladies, until next time, have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining us on the Happy Black Woman podcast. If you want all the show's notes from today's episode, go to happyblackwomanpodcast.com. Plus, we'll send you a copy of Rosetta's free life mapping workbook. We look forward to empowering you next time. And until then, do something this week that makes you happy.